Durabaili against Andrew Tang, playing from the Dave Cave. But these two, this is the top fight. Andreikin on 7 points will have the white pieces. Hikaru with 7.5. He's in the lead, heading into round 9. Here we go.
Here we go. It's e4, e5. Andreikin's a very classical player. Will he play the Spanish? Will he play the Italian? He pauses. He plays the 4 knights. He brings all of his knights out. It's the 4 knights Scotch, which means the central pawns are traded off as well. We see some very quick trades. Often white castles there, not accepting a pawn sacrifice. And Hikaru hits the white queen. This has a very drawish reputation, this opening, the 4 knights Scotch. Andreikin showing a lot of respect to Hikaru here. And for Hikaru, it's a bit of a dilemma. As black, are you happy with the drawish line? Are you happy to play it a bit safe, knowing that people might catch you up? Or do you want to risk it and go all out for victory here? A black win, and he'll be very close to the title. And yeah, Andreikin now, I'm expecting him, there we go, to bring his queen out. He'll bring his bishop out next. Slightly better pawn structure for white due to these weak pawns, but nothing significant. Very level.
Still level. Andreikin on 7 points. He is better in this game. Magnus Carlsen and the other player is on 7 points. They're dependent on someone beating Hikaru Nakamura. It could be Andreikin in round 9.
And even a draw, if there's a draw and Magnus wins, then that will also help Magnus.
Maybe that's actually the best result even for Magnus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be neck and neck as we see more trades. It's clear that Andreikin wants a very, very slightly better endgame. And the eval bar says it's their level. Very instructive for everyone at home. Keeping the queens on, good for Hikaru. If he traded off the queens, the white bishop would have actually been superior to the black knight with pawns on both sides of the board. Bishops being long-range pieces. Also the potential with those 2 versus 1 to create an outside pass pawn, black with some weaknesses. If you have the long-term weaknesses, you should be dynamic. Queen and knight, very dynamic combo. So great decision by Hikaru Nakamura. Andreikin still very comfortable, but nothing significant for him. As yeah, I just want to point out as well, Magnus Carlsen in the other game, we talked about how he started with the H pawn, then he went to the A pawn, then he went to the B pawn, C pawn. He's moved on to his D pawn for this game on move 1.
He's skipping his F pawn.
He's skipping his F pawn.
Very important. Yeah,
Round 11 will be the F pawn.
Yeah.
That would be ice cold.
That
Yeah.
would be.
It's kind of the only pawn that is really bad. You just get this.
Magnus Carlsen is right now playing with the black pieces against Denis Lazovic. I can see Lazovic is much better on the eval bar right now in that game. Andreikin, Dmitry Andreikin from Russia. He is up against Hikaru Nakamura, the 35-year-old from Russia. He scored 3 third places in the autumn split. Still no wins, but he does have 12 Champions Chess Tour points. A win for him today would be huge, and it would take him far up the Champions Chess Tour leaderboard.
He is super strong, Andreikin. Of course, he played in the candidates after getting to the final of the World Cup a few years ago. He's very, very positional, and he's showing it here. He's pretty much traded off everything other than the queens and the heavy pieces, just one set of minor pieces left, bishop and knight. And he's just saying, tiny, tiny, small long-term advantage is the fact I'm attacking this isolated pawn. Maybe taking this one would be a blunder here because of the black rook coming and skewering. So he goes the other way. But here we go. Rook and 5 pawns versus rooks and 4 pawns. Hikaru looks very confident, though. He's just trying to eliminate the queen side. If these 3 disappear, even if Hikaru's down 1 pawn and it's just on one side of the board, it should be a draw. Not easy to create a pass pawn. So Hikaru on the defensive, but getting closer to that half point. Happy to suffer slightly. This is going to open the door for Lazovic or Carlsen if it's a draw here. Not great result for Andreikin. I think he just didn't want any risk against Hikaru.
He is slightly better, though, but the position on the board just looks very drawish.
Yeah, it's that rook endgame conundrum. The old saying that all rook endgames are drawn is supposed to be a bit of a joke, but sometimes I do think it's true. And here we see pawns disappear. It's now 1 versus 1. You could easily imagine those getting traded off in the near future. Rooks going hunting for each other's pawns. And Andreikin's up 3 for 2 on the other side. But if it's just those pawns left, it is an easy, easy draw.
It's a very calm game. Nobody has really been at risk, so it's going towards a draw here.
This is round 9 in game week 10. After this one, 2 more rounds before we know who wins game week 10. Hikaru Nakamura is in the lead heading into this one with a draw. He will be on 8 points, 7.5 points for Andreikin, and the players on 7 points, Magnus and Lazovic. With a win, they have the chance of joining Hikaru Nakamura on 8 points, heading into those 2 final rounds.
Here we go. The Rook Endgame is just starting. The one thing I will say about Rook Endgames is, and we've seen it today already, that you can flag your opponents. Rook Endgames, it's very hard to trade off rooks. Like, you can threaten a trade, you can offer to exchange, the opponent can easily run away. So the games can go on 50 moves, 100 moves, 150 moves. And I do wonder whether Andreikin might just keep the game going as long as possible and then suddenly play for time against Hikaru. Extra 40 seconds on the clock right now. But yeah, here we go. One set of rook trades probably helps Andreikin if he can do it on his own terms. You don't want to take this black rook because it would create a monster pawn. So he's waiting for black to take him. And a bit of an awkward standoff here. Andreikin trying to win this pawn now. He'll drop his rook back. And yeah, he's making progress, I'm going to say. He's doing a lot of right things. Should still be a draw, just because the h-pawn is probably the worst pawn to be up. Black's king can easily stop that pawn if it ever steps forward.
It's good for Andreikin that is up on time now against Hikaru, because you really don't want to get into a time scramble against him. So, but he's making sure to play quick moves up 1 minute at the clock now. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's done everything right. I'm surprised Hikaru went that direction. I thought he'd leave the rook behind White's pawn, because in the near future, White will move his king across and threaten to trade off. Hikaru's getting a bit nervous here. He's getting anxious about the clock time. No easy moves for Hikaru Nakamura. The White king can start stepping across.
Ooh.
First a check. The Black king is now trapped, actually, on a really bad square. Andreikin's doing everything right. Maybe it's time to start going for this pawn with the White king, the White rook. He's getting closer and closer.
Much better on the bar for Andreikin. Okay, is that a mistake?
Ooh, it's not a major mistake. I think the path forward was very complex. Maybe moving the king forward was the way to go. But he's basically offering his own pawn for Black's pawn. And that's a huge blunder from Hikaru Nakamura. Why would you push that pawn? Now the White king is going to step forward. And that's going to be disastrous for Black. Now the Black king is going to get cut off on the back rank. It's going to be some checks in the near future. Andreikin is totally winning now. His rook is going to step forward if the Black king rook hadn't done this. And now the dilemma. Black's king's just so bad.
The drama is never ending. Andreikin is massively better. Hikaru only has 50 seconds left on his clock. Is he about to lose his lead in game week 10?
He's dead lost Hikaru Nakamura. Rook forward would be the way. There we go. He closes the cage. Now king takes pawn is the clincher. Hikaru offers a rook trade, but that's not going to be accepted yet. And now 2 pawns up for Andreikin. He just needs to push his pawn forward in the near future. He might dodge some checks first. Andreikin pushes his king forward. The Black king is cut off, though, can never move forward. It's totally over. No counterplay at all here.
Hikaru has escaped lost position a couple of times in this tournament, but this one is going to be hard to escape.
Yeah, you need a miracle. One blunder would be pushing this pawn forward, because Black would have been able to give check for eternity. Oh, Andreikin getting nervous, getting some time.
Okay.
Maybe he should be moving his king forward and going towards the black pawns now. But that is not easy. And there we go. He does find it. He's running with his king. Look how the Black king is in the center, but actually in a really bad square. Can't go forward, can't go back. And the White rook just needs to attack the base of Black's pawn chain. It's 3 versus 2 here. And he should be winning.
Yes, more than double the time of Hikaru Nakamura. Okay, he has now ticked under 1 minute.
Oh, he's getting a pawn. This is so close. This is so close between a win and a draw. You have to be so accurate where you go with the White king. You need to use the Black pawn as a shield from checks from behind. He does. He's pushing his pawn. That's going to cost Black his rook. And Hikaru has no way of saving it. That Black rook will have to give itself up for White's pawn. Hikaru looks resigned, and he does resign.
He resigns. Hikaru Nakamura. Dmitry Andreikin takes the win in round 9, and he takes the lead in Title Tuesday, Game Week 10.